All right, you guys, let's go ahead and move on to the next example in this case, guys. And the next example actually focuses on fractional coefficients. Now, what that means in this case, guys, or when it comes to fractional coefficients, is that you're going to have, in this case, equations where the coefficient, the number in front of the variable, is actually going to be a fraction. Now, there's two ways for us to actually get rid of the fraction in this case, guys. One of them is actually doing 2 steps, another one is doing 1 step. I prefer the 1 step in this case, guys, and how we actually do the 1 step in this case is based on a reciprocal, right? Now, you guys might have heard of reciprocal in this case, guys, and that actually applies whenever we're working with fractions, right? So for example, if I have the fraction of 5/7, right? Let's say I have 5/7. And I want to go ahead and actually multiply 5/7 by its reciprocal. The reciprocal of 5/7 is actually going to be the original fraction flipped, which means it's going to be 7/5. Now, when you multiply a number by its reciprocal, what it should be giving you should be a 1, right? How we multiply fractions out in this case, guys, we multiply straight across, which means numerator with numerator and denominator with denominator. So if I multiply the 2 top numbers, I get 35. And if I multiply the 2 bottom numbers, I get 35 as well. And I know in this case, guys, that any number divided by itself, in this case, guys, any number divided by itself is going to give us a 1. So when we're working with equations in this case, guys, that have fractional coefficients, the best way for us to get rid of them, right, in order for us to isolate the variable, is to multiply by the reciprocal. Let's try that with another example in this case, guys. For example, let's say I have, I don't know, let's say it's 4/9, right? 4/9. Reciprocal of 4/9 is going to be 9/4. And once again, in this case, guys, we're multiplying the fraction out. 4 times 9 in this case would actually give us 36. And 9 times 4 would also give me 36. Once again, a number divided by itself is going to give us a 1. So let's go ahead and practice this now in this case, guys, with this example. We have example G, where in this case we have 6 is equal to 4/3a. Once again, in this case, guys, operation that's happening here, there's actually multiple, right? There's multiplication and there's division. But in reality, if I consider this number as one single number, a whole in this case, guys, it's just multiplying, right? Now, if I want to go ahead and leave the variable a alone, I have to multiply in this case, guys. I have to multiply the variable by the reciprocal of 4/3. Reciprocal in this case, guys, once again, is getting the fraction and flipping it. So the reciprocal of 4/3 is going to become 3/4. Doing so in this case, guys, I have to multiply by the reciprocal on the opposite side as well. Now I'm going to go ahead and do an extra step in this case, guys. And I'm actually going to go ahead and show my original coefficient multiplied by the reciprocal. And then we have our variable as well. All right. Then on the left-hand side, I have our original number, which is 6. And I'm going to go ahead and multiply it by 3/4, right? Now, starting off in this case, guys, I mentioned if I multiply the top 4 times 3, that's actually going to give me a 12. And if I multiply the bottom, that's actually also going to give me a 12. And I know that 12 divided by 12 is going to give me a 1. So on the right-hand side, I should actually have a. Now, on the left-hand side, I have a fraction multiplied by a whole number. My whole number, I'm actually going to put it over 1, and then I can multiply straight across, right? Just for visual purposes here. So if I multiply the top now, 3 times 6 should give me 18 over, let's change it, 4 times 1, which gives me 4, right? Now, in a perfect story in this case, guys, this would actually be my final answer. But I do have to check in this case, guys. Can I simplify this fraction? How I check in this case, guys, is there a number that I could divide both 18 and 4 by? If I find one, I could divide both of them. If I don't, then that's my final answer. So let's go ahead and check in this case, guys. And there is actually a number that goes into them. And I could actually divide both of them by 2. So I'm going to go ahead and divide this one by 2 and divide that one by 2. And that's actually us simplifying the fraction. So 18 divided by 2 gives me 9, and 4 divided by 2 gives me 2. This here is our final answer. This one takes a little bit more process in this case, guys, and I am doing a lot more steps just to show you guys where each of the numbers are coming from. So we're gonna go ahead and do another one, right? Do another one here, right? So first thing, multiply by reciprocal. Multiply by reciprocal. Multiply by reciprocal. Step 2 in this case, guys, step 2 is to actually simplify fractions, right? Or yeah, we'll say simplify. All right, step 2 and 3 are probably simplify, right? We could have gone from here to here, right? But we were doing that extra step of showing the work. All right, let's go ahead and start off with h in this case, guys, and here's h. Here is h. All right, now in this case, guys, I have a negative 20 is equal to a negative 4 over 3n. Negative 20 is equal to a negative 4 over 3n. Now on this one here, guys, same idea here, same idea. I want to go ahead and leave our variable alone, which is n. And what we're going to do in this case, guys, is I'm going to end up multiplying both sides by the reciprocal of negative 4 over 3. So I'm going to go ahead and start with that in this case, guys. I'm going to go ahead and multiply. The reciprocal of negative 4 over 3 is actually going to be negative 3 over 4. And what I do to one side, I do repeat to the other, so negative 3 over 4. Just like I showed in the previous one in this case, guys, I'm going to go ahead and multiply my original number in this case, guys, multiply my original number by the reciprocal and n. All right, same thing on this side here. I have a negative 20, and I'm actually going to go ahead and put that negative 20 over 1 to create that whole number as a fraction. And we're going to go ahead and multiply by a negative 3 over 4. Once again, in this case, guys, negative 4 divided by a negative 3, or not divided, multiplied by a negative 3 is going to give us a 12. And then a 3, positive 3 now times a 4 is going to also give me a 12, right? 12 over 12 is just 1. So this is going to turn into n. Right? On the other one in this case, guys, I'm actually going to multiply a negative 3 times a negative 20. Negative times negative is a positive. So that's 60 over 4 times 1. 4 times 1, which is simply 4. Now, once again, in this case, guys, we have to check, can I simplify 60 over 4? Right? Let me check in this case, guys, with my calculator. Can I do 60 divided by 4? And this actually works out, right? 60 divided by 4 actually does work out. So this basically divides, in this case, guys, both of them by a 4 and divides both of them by a 4. So n in this case, guys, is equal to a 15. 15, right? You could use a calculator in this case, guys, and check. If it gives you a whole number, then that's it. If it doesn't give you a whole number, then you have to check right manually here. So that is my final answer. Final answer. And just to check in this case, guys, if I would have gone back and checked with 18 divided by 4, it's going to give me a decimal, right? It's going to give me a decimal, and I want, in this case, a fraction, right? So I probably have to check in this case, guys, and go from there.